Michael Quay has been talking about what the new or the parliamentarians should be doing, given that some of them are on their way out. We'll get to Parliament and get more on that. But joining us via Zoom is Dr. Alidu Seidu, who will help us analyze this. He's a political science lecturer at the University of Ghana. Doc, thank you for your time this afternoon. Okay, it looks like you're muted. If you can unmute, then we can have a conversation. Okay, so I hope that I can hear you now. Good afternoon once again.
Yes, please.
Okay, fantastic. So we're just hearing from the NPP. One of the things they intend to do to bring the people together, bring unity, because obviously if you look at the numbers, the acrimony that characterize the campaign towards the primaries, you know that there are some sort of divisions and there is a problem which everybody is referring to. But one of the ways that the party is looking to solve that problem is to give people or promise people positions in the future or a future NPP administration. How does that come out to you as a political scientist?
I think it's a good idea, but it has challenges. It's a good idea in the sense that there have been a lot of bitterness, a lot of pain, and a lot of dissatisfaction regarding people who have lost their parliamentary seats. And these are people who have great wealth of experience in the issue of dealing with parliament and parliamentary business, conducting parliamentary business. And these people also have experience in terms of contesting and winning national elections. The guys who have the new crop of candidates who have been able to unseat these people in the primary, some of them have not contested national elections on their own. Some of them have been part of national elections, but just to support a candidate. But they don't have the experience of running an election on its own. And in Africa, it's not just about selling yourself well. There are a lot of things that goes into running a successful election campaign and winning. So I think the party need these people, those who are going out on board. And in this case, it's a trade-off. They've lost their seats. So what are you going to do to bring them back? Some of them have been in parliament for quite some time now, and they think maybe the party don't like me or the delegates don't want me to lead them again. So it's just better I leave politics and do something else. So the only way the party can bring them on board is to assure them of something maybe tangible so that they can look up to that, and then it will re-energize them to throw their support and experience behind this new crop of parliamentary candidates, but also the party moving forward. So it is always good to make that kind of promise to be able to get them back. But there are kind of disadvantages to it. One, this is actually premised on the fact that the NPP is going to win elections. So if the NPP actually wins 2020, then this promise can come on board. But if they are not able to win elections, then it means they will not be able to provide them with this kind of promises that they have assured them. That is one serious disadvantage to the promise or the strategy. Second, you see, if you are a member of parliament, it gives you an edge over other people who are also qualified like you, but are not members of parliament. Because the constitution says majority of our ministers and deputy ministers must come from parliament. So if I have the same qualification as another person who is not from parliament, and I'm a member of parliament, it gives me an edge in terms of appointments compared to somebody maybe who is not a member of parliament. So the element of having a step advantage ahead of the other is going to be lost here if they are not members of parliament. Then two, it's all about security and continuity. You see, once you are a member of parliament, you have that element of security, at least to the next 4 years. If the president appoints you, the president can sack you within the next minute or the next 2 minutes or the next month or the next year. If they have reasons to believe that you are not conducting yourself well or you are not doing things that you are supposed to do. So if you are just an appointee, the element of job security is limited compared to if you're a member of parliament, but you are also an appointee. So that element of job security is actually lost in this particular sense. Then too, there is the element of limitations. You know, somebody might have been an MP, but where are you going to fix him? Maybe he's a very good businessman, but he's not cut for specific positions that are left. So there's a limit to where you can place people if you think they are not cut for that job. But the last bit has to do with job satisfaction. Some people just love to be called honorable member of parliament or honorable, in addition to any other thing that will come with it. They may love that job so much so that they just like doing it. No matter how much they get from it, they have the passion for it. They may not necessarily have the passion to do any other thing rather than just to be a member of parliament. But having said this, there's always a mechanism to fashion out and iron out the differences that these people have, and to be able to reassure them that the party is still committed to them and then move them forward. Honestly speaking, most of them are bitter because some of them don't understand why some MPs were protected and they were not protected. When maybe they have also spent the same number of years that the other MPs have spent. Most of them were also ministers of state or deputy ministers of state. And some of them were also just first-timers, like some first-timers who were protected. So it still will pain them that even look at the kind of support the kind of effort I was putting in the conduct of parliamentary business, but also speaking on behalf of the party on a lot of fronts and specific issues. And still the party didn't see the need to protect me and had protected other people. So I think it takes a lot of effort and patience to be able to speak to them, re-energize them, and then bring them on board. And then just promising them position is just one of the several ways that you can do that. To some people, it's more about just having positions in government.
Interesting way you put it, and very comprehensive, I must say. But then, is there any other way? As you said, this is premised on the NPP winning the election, which is not determined until the election is done. Is there any other way they can compensate these people, even before, if they will win the election, they do?
So I think it has to do with a lot of engagement and consensus building. You know, like I mentioned, this issue of job satisfaction. Some people may necessarily not just want to be given a position. They may want something else. So what the party can do is sit down with them, ask them what do they want if the party wins, and how can they support them to be able to get what they want, so that they can also throw their weight behind the party, campaign for the party, and re-energize their base, their support base, so that that element of apathy doesn't come in. So it may be very difficult. So the first thing you have to do is to explore their needs and their concerns and their interests. So the party will have to get a special team to be able to do this. And then you see interesting revelations that will come, things that people necessarily may want to have rather than just appointment. So that the party, if the party can make it up to them, then they will do that. In return, these people will throw their support behind them and be able to campaign for them and also support the other people that have unseated them. And I think some people may not even just want what they will be promising them or what they've just said. And I seriously want to believe that this decision of rewarding them to bring them on board was just an afterthought. You know, it wasn't like an already planned thing that, oh, if these people lose, they were not even expecting that majority of them will lose like the way it has happened. So I believe it's an afterthought. And sometimes some of these things can actually even make some people angry, that you just think you can give me a position and then all the pain and the troubles that I've gone through will just disappear. So I think they'll have to engage them and explore their interests and what they may want. Then based on that, it can inform them what to do. Some of them may not want appointment, they may want other things, then they'll try to give to them. But even, they are also rational people. Barely like 5 months to elections, and you are promising them a job. How about if you don't win? Will that take away the pain, the cost, the resources, and the embarrassment that other people have gone through? Other people were hooted at by the same party people, having been declared losers and all those things, public embarrassment. Some of them were threatening violence and all those things. So it takes a lot to be able to heal and reconcile the party moving forward.
Interesting, interesting. I'm sure we'll have more of these conversations going on. Dr. Alidu Seidu, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. And Dr. Alidu Seidu is a political scientist. He's with the University of Ghana. He makes a very important point about apathy in Parliament.